Hello, welcome to my craft room. It's Rhoda. I'm not feeling so stopped up today, so I thought I'd get on here and do a little easy video. So let's do the sneaky peek, which this may be the last of this book. I just finish it out. This is another one of my dyed pages I did out on the deck. It's really grungy looking. I had a little bit of coffee on there, and I think the grounds were on there. And I used teal and tea and teal color, I mean. Over here, this is, I think, the other side of that. Sorry, I'm holding it too close. Of that flap thing that I made back here. This guy. So this is in the same signature. It has a key here on a mini paper clip. This actually folds up. That's what the paper clip is holding, where it's got little extra journaling room under there, here and there. A few scraps. There's a little bit of that chicken wire. I just thought it went really well with this. And I used a copper key because I used copper wire there. Also, oh, I should have left that off. I couldn't remember how this worked. This is actually a tag. It's not a piece of scrap. So there is a tag inside with the little guy. That's some of that Tim Holtz vellum. A little scrap of the phone book. And then I used this paper that I had that has a pretty blue back. But that's the journaling card that goes inside. And then that goes back on here to hold that in. If I can get it on there. There we go. And this says public telephone room. I don't remember that, but I guess that's, I remember the phone booths on the corner and such, but I don't remember where you could go in. I've seen it on Perry Mason, though. I like to watch him. And you'll see in the hotels, I'll have that little row of booths, and everybody's going in to use the phones. But there's a piece of washi here. This is some embossed wood grain that I put there just for interest. I even see a piece of vellum behind the washi in that. So I was just putting all kinds of different layers there to give you texture. Over here, you see the operators. I mean, that was one of the main jobs ladies would like to have back then, an operator. But these are pieces from her digital kit. And this is a vintage phone by Wonders by Wink on Etsy. And I encourage you to go over and look at it and see if you would like to have it. It's a one of a kind. You can make all kinds of wonderful images with it. Journals. This is just some eyelets down here. And that's a piece out of my art journal book where I ripped the page out and used it for probably making a tag or something. And I just kept that and I sprayed it and stained it and made kind of a cool little edge there. This is another journal card, which this is just a simple one, but it's a deep pocket. I just didn't make it very deep. I think I was just using up scraps or something. And I used that little telephone. Boy, that's a tight fit. And then this is just part of the telephone, the yellow pages. And then that was one of her pages in her journal kit. And this is another one with, it's like an overall. And the back of my journal just has this. I didn't put any pockets or anything in here. I just didn't. I didn't think I needed it. I have that at the front. And if I think, I might put a pocket at the back if I ever do sell it. I really don't think I want to. I really like my little journal. All right, I need to find us another one to look through. But in the meantime, I have this. I do have something to show you at the end. That was my last video. I was going to show you the other little envelope book that I'd made. I got this pouch from Scrapbooking with Me when I ordered something. And it's a great pouch. It's like waterproof and holds a lot. So I just started putting all this stuff in it for this other sunflower journal. And to tell you the truth, it was last year. I had made this cover. and I think I had an extra scrap in here. I made this cover. It's actually a little bent. I'm going to have to unbend it. It's just been, you know, kind of decoupaged, collaged or whatever, with scraps that I had left over. And then I had this one major piece for the front. I thought the colors went well. This was a really, really old pad that I had way back when. So all I need to do is get in here and make me a couple pockets. And I do have this to go on the front of it as part of the cover. I think I'm still debating on how I wanted to do it. It's a nice doily. I'm not sure if you call that a Battenberg or what that is. But I thought to do it like this, I guess, and come over the front, and it sort of will look like a sunflower. And I did play with the idea of putting these two pieces up inside as the pockets in here, or on the pockets that will be in there. I don't know. I'm going to still think about that, but that was my original idea in the very beginning. Now, what else is in here is going to be like ephemera that I've already made. I haven't looked in here in ages. I just decided to pull it out. And I was going to show you all the things that I have gathered to go into this journal, thinking it would help you. I don't have the actual digital kit. This is just the excess or ephemera elements, or however you want to look at that. Now, this is from the Dollar Tree. And it was just a big group of the sunflower pieces. These little bits I might use in a collage for an edge. Anytime I'd cut off anything, I just threw it in here, because that could become a pocket, that could become a cluster, a tuck. You know, you've got all kinds of choices. This was some Tim Holtz paper here. I thought it was really pretty because of the green. And it could go with a anything that I might add to this. This was like a butterfly that had this on the other side. I thought I could use that for something. Not that. It's pink. This paper I got at Hobby Lobby, and I loved it. I made pockets and things for the other sunflower journal, and this is what I had left. So I'm going to keep that and maybe I might put it inside. I got to cover that, but that'll be, I'll just coffee dyed paper or something on the back. Now I could fold that in half and just put it in as a short page. Now if you wanted to be wonky, which I probably should try to be irregular, you can fold it like that as well. And I'm still under the 6-inch domain, right? No, not quite. I might have to cut a little bit of it off, but other than that, it won't be much, and it's definitely under the 8.5. So that would be a cute little division, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, my brain's fried. Oh, okay. Here is definitely one of the pieces of ephemera that I'd made way back when. It was an idea I come up with. I may have to connect that at the end, so you might want to see. It's actually a fold out, and then it's got an actual pocket that goes in the window. It's got I don't think it's acetate. I think it's actually packaging that I used. And it's made to where you don't have to glue it down. And I tried to frame this sunflower in it. And you can actually, I think you can write on that. I'm not sure with that foil. I probably really should have rethought that. But, and then you can't, I'm going to have to rethink this, because I wanted it to be writable. So either this has to get some tea-dye paper over it, or this, or both. So we will check into that. And there's a few little pieces of wood. I think they were just from a piece of paper. This here was an idea I came up with. I believe it's in the other journal. Here's some more wood. But I don't know. I don't know if it was a well thought out page or not. These little petals come out, and you're supposed to be able to write an idea on it, a thing that you're thankful for that day, a quote, something that made you happy that day. It's kind of like that. I may not have these all in the right spot, but this is a general idea. It's to go in the middle signature of one of the signatures, and it folds up, but you have all those little pieces that are only, it's like a tuck. So it's glued, it's only glued a little bit of a circle in there. But it's on tea dye paper, and the other side can be used for something. Here is a piece of paper or two that I thought would go well. That is another piece like that, the blue one I just showed you in the sneaky peek. So I thought that was a pretty color that could go in here. I've got some of these from Pink Monarch Prints. It was a whole set that she had that was grungy. And to tell you the truth, I may print those out to go in this journal, along with some of the sunflower digital kit that I've got. And I'm going to have to decide which one of those I'm going to use as well. Now, this was a paper, and the idea came from Ceri the Crafter. He called them, not archaeological, he had a specific name for them. And I made me a set to go in different journals, and I needed to work on some more. But his idea was you took this little patch or a ripped off piece of something, and you put it over here in different spots. That's what's going to be like focals that were going to go there. Then you stamped on it. Then you could grunge it up a little bit. So I put some grungy spots. Then I went in and put the focals in. But it was really great. Started with an A, I can tell you that much. All right, and then the back side is some of my, this is my dyed paper from the deck, but this is rug gripper. If you need something to use to make a cool impression on your papers, get some cheap rug gripper. It's no more than $2 to $3. And just cut you a piece and put it between two of your pieces of dyed paper. What happened here, I was doing yellow, but I had a base of coffee tea. And I think that's what's centered in this to make that grid design. See, you don't even see it on that side. It's kind of a cool design. All right, what else do we have in here? We have just a little tag that I made up. This is washi, so the rest of it's just a tag. I put the string on there, and that's it. That was a simple tag. Now, this was one of the windows from a big envelope, and I put a little dangle here with a bulb clip. And then I have this beautiful image from Scrapbooking with Me. I think the word cherish came from, I can't remember, a Cara Brandon digital kit I've got. And this was a bunch of scraps and buttons. And I put a little bit of lace down there. Oh, this one. Everybody really liked this one. I can't remember. I called it a waterfall tag, maybe. And what it is, and see, I was telling you the other day on a video that I've used these in stuff before. This is just a stencil. And I thought it stood for shine or sunflower. So I stuck it in there. You can open it here. This is actually magnetic. I need to get me some more magnets. It's really thin magnets too. But this was from the sunflower kit, and I just loved it. I love the silverware. But each one of these just keeps flipping. That's a little bit of napkin there with thankful. This was a cutout for something, and I just used it there for an image. And all of these can be written on, and that's another napkin. But that's, oh, it's sealed shut that way. Wait a minute. That way is what you're supposed to do. Okay. And that can tuck in a pocket. This here is one of my little, specimen slides. I think is what I called them. I made up a little name here and tied that to it. And then it just kind of tucks in a pocket. But it can be written on. Oh, here is that. I was looking for this raffia the other day. I was going to add it in. Oh, the dragon journal. Oh, my gosh. I looked everywhere for that stuff. I knew I had it. I just didn't know what I'd done with it. But, so, I will do something with this. I don't know if you remember this from the craft stores. But this is the stuff that you would gather like that. And then you could poof it out. And it makes the coolest bows. You just keep going back and forth, and you make a big old wreath bow or something on it. But it's really cool stuff. I don't even know if they make it anymore. I've had this for ages. Now I know where it's at. All right. Here's another little piece that I made with a, what do you call it, Rolodex card? Yeah. I did some heat embossing back here with like a flower design. I had taken this die cut. I had made some sprayed green paper. Then I die cutted it. And then I clear embossed it. So it made it come out really deep with the color. I have a little bit of washi tape here. I did a little bit of a stencil design in the background here. Inked the edges. And I left the back where you could write on it. I'm not really sure what I'll do with that. I may make it as a tuck for the bottom of a page like this. And kind of just stick it right there. And then I'll just glue the very base of it. And I can tuck something in there like that. Or it could be the stop on a page. And I have like a little thin belly band up here. And that will stop your paper from sliding all the way down. I like to use those as well. So, what's next? Okay. Oh, here's another item that I made. I am not crazy about this leaf. I do not like the color that I chose for this leaf. I had sprayed it or something, and then I die cutted it out. But it just, oh, and here's the circle for the waterfall. That one circle that's back here, that's where that come from, right there. So this is basically just a tag that you can write on the back of. You can take the card out and write all over it as well. Well, maybe not so much that side. I know you can write on that side and see it. And that goes back in here. I don't know what I may do about this leaf that I'm just not loving. And I can't get that back in there, so I'll quit fighting it. Here's another piece that I made. That is another specimen card. And this one actually has the paper packaging, or the plastic packaging there. This was out of a little map book. Let me show you. I don't know if they still have these at Hobby Lobby, but this is a great little book. It's uncharted. It's what is it, a 4.5 by 6.5, and it has all these different little maps in it, different colors. They make great journal cards. If you're just needing a journal card for something, and here's that little page right there. They make a great journal card because they're white on the back. You tuck right into a journal pocket, and then I have a few little die cuts that I put in there before I glued that down. And that's more of a look kind of a thing, just a look-see. This here was, I don't know why I got a rose in here, but it's in here. Now this here is a little booklet, like a little flip out. And I made me a policy closure. It goes all the way around. I've got some more of this same paper. I love this paper. I did a stamp here of some mushrooms, a little stamp of some writing. I also did it over here as well, so it kind of tied in. I have a little bit on the back and some more of that little grungy spot. That's a stamp as well, the little grungy spot. It opens up here. I've got a little tiny tag in a pocket. I open it up here, and you actually have 3 in a row. And you also have a tag in the top up here as well that can be written on. Is this an envelope? I think this is an envelope. It is. So that is some of the different things that you can do with an envelope. Can I get that back in there? Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm still having trouble. But yes. Oh, I must have bent that one. Okay, there we go. But yeah, that is an envelope. I did a little stenciling on these backgrounds. I did some more of that little grungy stamp. I had this in one of my Tim Holtz stamp sets. And that's all she wrote. I just kind of continued that image all the way across. And kind of a fun little project. Maybe we'll make that little project one day. It's very simple. Very simple. And you can use it as a standalone in Happy Mail. You know, you could do something like that to send people with their Christmas cards. Ooh, this was a little altered paper clip I must have made with a pretty button that I got. And I just put several layers of kind of lacy things that I had, little pieces of lace that was left over. I just stuck them on there. It definitely needs something else, though. It's kind of by itself. I may have to do some kind of a little die cut or a word. Something else needs to be done to it. And is that it? Yes, one little piece here is it. That I'll use for something that looks like a sunflower. So, I hope you enjoyed that. It was just an idea of how I'm going to piece this little journal together. And you can kind of see all the colors there. I will get together all of the digitals that I want to use for it. And then I'll show you that next step, how I've got them arranged in signature order. This may be 2 skinny signatures or 1 big signature. It depends. Let me get that little envelope. This was the easy envelope journal that I made the other day. And I wanted to show that to you. I think I've zoomed in a little closer than I usually do. But I'm trying to cover this stuff up so you can see this. There we go. So what I did, I took this out of one of my ephemera cluster books. So I had made this a while back and I never had used it for anything. Let me show you that ephemera book. Here it is. I just took some 12 by 12s that I had, and I didn't think I'd ever use them for anything because they're quite loud. And I just put a bunch of my clusters and paper clips and stuff in here. This is where I ripped this one out. I just ripped it around, used that little bit of background, and you can see it right there, that blue. And then I glued it down. I also took a couple of die cuts and put them on here, and the copper and the gold kind of enhance it and gives it more of a focal point. It looked a little naked with this by itself. This was a stamp I had, and I just stamped it several times in different colors. And yeah, that's all it took. This was the Dollar Tree leaf netting that I was telling you about in the last video on how I was going to do that. I also did the inside. These are the big journal cards that'll go in here. Now, this is the one I was telling you. See, you can see the signature. This is the one where it's only glued down here. I cut the 2 flaps off. Or, not the flaps, but the sticky that goes on the flaps. I cut them off so I didn't have to deal with them. And I'm going to actually take those and use them somewhere else. That right there, that almost looks like washi tape. So I'm going to use them in some other project. But all I did was glue that down to this end. Then I took it and I glued it down to this end. And that's all it took. I put a little pocket inside so they had an extra pocket. And that's all it's going to be. Just a simple little journal. Be really Low price, too. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a good show and got to see a lot of different projects or a lot of different things that gave them ideas for stuff. That's what I like to do. And I will get back with you here soon. I'm on the Manda family. I hope everybody out there is healthy, happy, doing well, and I really want to appreciate all my subscribers and viewers for coming to visit with me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.